All right, awesome. The game came out about a month ago and it's already on sale, so Activision ripped us off again. We paid full price for a game to only have it go on sale a month later. Excellent. Can't wait to buy next year's COD. It's going to be the best ever. It's going to save the franchise. Trust me. All right, welcome to the video, you stud muffins. Hope you're all doing fantastic. I am A Thoughts, and I'm glad. Well, you should be here. Let's keep it real before we even go on. I'm glad you're here, but do you have a choice? No. You see my amazing videos in your subscription sub box, and you click on it, or you get a notification. You click on it right away. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting on, dude? It's free. Activision has ripped us off, everybody. They took our money, they stole our money, and we totally got hosed. Big shocker. I know, oh my God. And we're all so mad, but you know what? Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is the #1 selling game again in 2020. It's the biggest game. Every year it's the biggest game. Every year, 8 Thoughts is out here. That's me. I'm talking to myself in third person. Makes videos, trash it on the game, which I love. I love trashing on the game. If I couldn't trash on the game or this clown-ass community, I don't think I'd be here at all. If I had to be positive about this game, which is almost impossible, unless you're like snorting G Fuel and you got brain cancer, it seems like the only plausible reason as to how someone could be so, I love this game, the most overpowered gun, the best gun, and streaming this game 24/7, I don't care how much money they pay me, that's like torture. Could you imagine I play Call of Duty 7, 8 hours a day, 5 to 6 times a week? But could you imagine having to play the game that much? Bro, I could play Black Ops Cold War, maybe about 5 games, 6 games. Because what happens is this, you jump on, you have a couple good games, or maybe you have a couple bad games, and then you have like, oh, get some good games. And the next thing you know, it's MLG Sweatfest, Diamond Camo, TTV clan tags everywhere, dudes doing call out like their life depended on it, and if they didn't win their game, their daddy's gonna beat them with his belt. And then you quit, you jump off, you're like, I'm out, peace out. Or you go play zombies, or you go play Cyberpunk and have it crash your computer, or your PlayStation, or your Xbox, and then you just, sit there and rant on Twitter like I do for the rest of the day. If ranting on Twitter didn't exist, I'd probably get a whole lot more done in life. Not that there's a whole lot to do in life right now anyways, besides make videos like this. But I think we all need to come to the realization and actualization, and we can take this and extrapolate what I'm about to say to a whole lot of stuff. And it's really hard to admit this, especially if you're young, right? You're full of piss and vinegar, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna change the world. And I have the hardest time as a grown adult coming to this fruition, to this understanding, to this eureka moment. And I tweeted about it earlier, and it really sort of plays well into Activision, and it plays into pretty much everything. We like to think that we have some power right over this world, and we have control over these corporations, and we like to think that our voice means something, and if we complain enough or we stand up and stomp our feet, we get out there and protest, what I'm trying to say, enough, things are going to change, right? No, I really think nothing matters what you say. You can complain all you want about whatever you want, about games. The powers that be, no matter what level they are for the most part, there's always a caveat to everything. Nothing in this world is absolute. A loser will be a winner once in a while, and a winner will be a loser once in a while. It just happens. It's just a law of averages. But we can complain and cry and pretend like we have some power and control, and that these developers or these gaming companies or politicians or anybody in general will listen. But they don't, and they won't. Not anymore. And the only thing that they do, and anything they do change, that makes it seem like as if our voice had some kind of power to it, is just a calculated move on their part to make it feel like that we as a consumer, or as a voter, or as anyone out here trying to fight against the bigger man, bigger system, had some kind of self-power, empowerment. Like, yeah, they just give you what they want you to give you to keep you going along, so you don't completely go ape and completely shut the whole thing down, because we really do have the power to change, but it takes a huge effort. For Call of Duty, let's just keep it in that, as this is what this channel is a lot to do with. You would have to have everybody not buy a battle pass. I mean, like 90%, not even 90, like if 70%, 60%, 50%, maybe even 50%, if I'm being optimistic here, didn't buy the battle pass for season 1 coming up, that would be a huge hit in the wallet, and said that we're not going to buy any more battle passes till skill-based matchmaking is taken out of the game, let's say, or the certain bugs are fixed, or whatever you want to do. Extrapolate to whatever you have in your life. You need a 50% of the population, you need a majority to make a difference. And that's honestly why unions are good, and that's why people try to bust unions. If I can get into that real quick here on some real talk, chair squeak, smell your fingers, ban anybody in the chat who doesn't like unions. But that's why unions have power, right? Even though some people don't like them, well, those people are dumb, sorry. The reason why is because you have a large group of people that can demand change, because when they work together, they have to have a majority. And if your whole workforce or whole group of people, work together to come together against the oppressors, then things can change. And that's what's wrong, right, with Call of Duty, is that the majority of people are babbling morons, a lot of little kids, a lot of idiots, a lot of people who don't know what's going on. So the people like us, the stud muffins out here who are subscribed, by the way, make sure you subscribed. But us stud muffins, right? We're a very small group of people in the big picture of Call of Duty. And we, hey, 99% of people are still going to buy the battle pass. Maybe 1, 5, 10% at most, maybe won't buy the battle pass, will stand up. It's an impossible task nowadays to make real change. Everything is so convoluted and it's so just spread out, and there's no organization, and the majority of people are morons, and things ain't going to change. So, like I said, I can't wait till next year's Call of Duty. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great, and I can't wait to play it and buy it, and get some V-Bucks or COD points. I don't know, whatever you want to call them. Just don't call me late for dinner. Can't wait for Season 1 coming out. Going to have some new zombie maps. Nope, sorry, not till February. We're stuck with one zombie map, which is getting very boring. And we're going to have a few multiplayer maps, but they're remakes, because they can't bother to make any new good maps because they don't know what they're doing. We can cry all we want, and changes will not happen, is what I'm trying to say, long story short. It's a tough pill to swallow, but I think as soon as we understand that, the only way to beat this game, as my best friend and fellow writer of amazing books, Cormac McCarthy, said, the only way to win this game is to just not really play it. And I think that can be a metaphor for the video game, because he's talking about the game of life and all the nonsense with all these politicians and all this hoopy hoppa going around there, and Trump 2020 and Biden sucks, and Biden 2020 and Trump sucks, all that, right? Don't bother playing it. It's all a con. And Call of Duty, if you want to beat it, don't play it. That's a final answer, because it's never going to change. All right, that's it. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I am 8 Thoughts. Hope you guys subscribed and smash that like button so we can get 1 million subscribers. That is my dream and my goal in my life. And once we hit 1 million subscribers, I will reach fulfillment and rise to the level of Buddha, and basically just radiate my love over YouTube. And last but not least, and most importantly though, you all know what you got to do. What you got to do, brother. Stay black, whisper, don't let the honker crack. Reptilian shapeshifter. This is a weird outro. Good ourselves. Let me go to the elder fat, we fake elders, hit the forest and the frogs game. White men, bring ya down.